Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ellis Cruz, and I'd like to welcome you to Hades, one of my absolute favorite games of 2020, and among the finest dungeon crawling roguelikes on the market today. I would highly recommend trying it out, especially if you travel a lot with your Switch and have, 20 bucks to spare. There is a ton of content to go through and learn about, so let's begin our lengthy, wretched escape from the depths of the Underworld.
Few tales are told of Hades, whose very name inspires fear and penitence, reminding us of the inevitable fate which we all share. I, however, mean to tell you such a tale. Listen carefully.
Goodbye, Father.
And so begins our first descent into Tartarus as the Prince of the Underworld.
Hell with this place.
As it stands, all we have at the moment is a sword, and that'll soon come to change as we progress further. We can dash, we can also throw these things called casts, and these are going to be much more important later, but for now, not super great. We're going to run around, and there's going to be nothing in these pots until a little later, but we're going to find a gate. And the thing about this game being a roguelite is the fact that it's procedurally generated, which means everything is going to change every single time we visit. So we can go and attack some of these guys. When they flash white, that means they're about to charge at you or otherwise attack you. And until we clear the room, we will not be able to progress. You do more damage by slamming them against walls or hitting them with traps. And that can be very advantageous to certain types of enemies, especially if they're armored and stuff. So we also have specials, and depending on what weapon you have, you'll be able to have different effects, especially if you change up the boons you're using. And, there is a lot of variety in your attack patterns. Although, generally, if you find a good Olympian, you generally tend to stick with them. Mine, of course, would be either Zeus or Demeter, but our first Olympian to save us, and it comes in the form...
It's got to be her. Then here goes nothing. In the name of Hades, Olympus, I accept this message.
Hail, noble cousin. Now, let's get you from that miserable place. I'll see that all of us upon Olympus do our part, beginning here with me.
And with that, generally you are then presented with three options to either have stronger attacks or your cast will be deflected. With Athena, having a dash that can deflect projectiles is probably one of the best things you can get, although attack damage plus 40% is very tempting. We'll go with this for now.
I know you can't hear me all the way where you are, goddess, but thank you.
And that is what we get for that room. So here's where we're going to be getting some darkness, and now when we dash, we're going to have a little shield around us that can deflect projectiles, so let's be careful with these guys, because they are large, and we can kill them with traps. Ugh. Okay, and it's fine if we take some damage, it's just you might have a little trouble, getting it back, especially early on. Now, something that's kind of unique with this game in particular is the fact that it encourages death a lot, and sometimes it might almost be in your best interest to do that. So, by collecting this, we get 10 pieces of darkness, I guess. I'm not entirely sure of the nominations there, but...
Each exit has its own reward.
Ooh, this is actually a little tricky. So if we head over here, we can visit Dionysus, and he's also among one of my more favorites to use because of his status effects, which is to cause people to be hungover. And this one will give us extra health, and early on, this might actually be your best bet, but... in the interest of seeing more and more of the Olympians, let's go visit our good friend Dionysus. So we've got bombs, and that's not fun. Don't like that. Whoop. So stay out of its radius and you won't get hurt. In general, you're not going to take nearly as much damage against traps than, say some of the enemies, but there are things that can make fighting really complicated, especially pressure panels on the floor and then other status effects to be used against you. So you can activate some of these traps, and also their nice little deflection. Ooh, get him. Ooh, nice. Drop some money there, which is good. So, obols of Sharon. But...
that was revelry? People having a good time? Well, sure then. In the name of Hades, Olympus, I'll accept this message.
Hades there, Zag man. How's it going? Look, you have got to get here with the rest of us already. We've been saving you a spot. Let me see what I can do. Make life a little sweeter for you in the meantime.
I will take it. So now my special inflicts hangover. Festive Fog is actually really good as well, and Premium Vintage is also equally as good. So what he is presenting us is Nectar. We get Nectar, and anytime we get it, we get plus 20 life. And early on like this, that might not be a bad idea. I don't generally use my special with the sword all that often unless I have a really good boon to it, so we'll go ahead and get some max life out of it, if not only to help restore it. And with Nectar, we can use this to present gifts to some of the Olympians and other patrons of the Underworld, and we'll be able to get some pretty nice keepsakes out of it. But we can also romance some people, so you might want to hold on to that as well. These skullheads are really annoying because they like to charge at you, and they just hang around and generally just swarm you in droves, so we'll avoid that. And sometimes a spawning nest will come out of somewhere. I don't see it anywhere though, so maybe not. It has been a hot second since I played the very beginning of this game, because the more you play, the stronger you get. And you'll see what I mean by the time we inevitably die. So let's go ahead and get rid of this guy since they seem to have stopped spawning, and get out of there. Oof. Okay, so darkness, we'll hold on to that. And we'll be trying to collect as much of that as we can early on, if not only to give us starting buffs. All right, over here we have a bow and arrow. I wonder who that could be. Yeah, any takers? Do you want me to spoil it for you? We'll see in a minute. But yeah, let's take care of these guys. Standing near pillars is a good idea too. Do some of that. There we go. And you'll notice I haven't been using the cast very much, but if you go ahead and use it, it'll lodge itself in an enemy, and if you have the correct upgrades, you'll be able to do more damage to enemies that have it lodged in them, so we'll eventually be able to pick up more of them. You can hold up to, actually I'm not sure the max amount you can hold up them to, but naturally you could do it 3. Ooh, okay. Got body slammed by that one. That sucks. Take that. Okay.
Divine arrow.
Ah, yes.
There's only one heavenly archer I know of. Well, several, really. Anyway, in the name of Hades, Olympus, I accept this message.
I heard about you. Look, I'm not like all the others on Olympus. The power of the hunt helps keep me company, so maybe it'll help you too.
Very nice. So with Artemis, depending on how much you like your critical hits, she could be very good for that, but generally I tend to avoid her as much as I can. Deadly Strike. Let's go with that.
Power of the hunt sounds like good company to keep.
So now we have a choice presented to us. We could either visit Sharon, the Merchant of Death, or we can get more darkness, and I think I'll probably go for that just because it sounds like a better time. Sharon's rooms are usually free, so you don't have to fight enemies in them. It's just a shop, and because we don't have a lot of money, I'm probably not going to worry too much about it. All right, let's do this. Nice. Get some criticals while we can. We're getting a lot of these mage things. All of these people have names. I just haven't bothered learning about them because there's so many different kinds that it's not worth it. But oh, here we go. So we have our first instance of an armored enemy who will not react to getting hit as long as their armor is still up, and they generally will take less damage, so their attacks can't be interrupted. So you want to be really careful when fighting those guys because if you get careless, you're gonna die. So not doing too bad. We have another Dionysus ahead, but it comes in the form of a boss. And the thing about boss stages is that if you can take them, generally you will get better rewards out of them. And sometimes you can get restrooms out of them, but let's go over here, and we have bomb enemies. So they're gonna drop these obnoxious bombs everywhere they go, and they're both armored, so let's just go ahead and try to just take them out as carefully as we can. We're doing no damage because we have 0 keepsakes, and just avoid the bombs. When they die, they do also drop a bomb. It's like the live wire man. Okay, so there we go. Oof. Also, back attacks are generally really good too. Oof. Because, you know, you're catching enemies unaware and you're doing extra damage. Alright. Listen here, Mr. Bomb throwing Skull Man. You hurt yourself? There we go. Finally. Ugh. Nice criticals there, 90. And get out of the way. All right, Dionysus number 2. We can also give him a gift, and I'm gonna hold off on that.
Olympus, I accept this message.
Okay, so now my special can inflict hangover if my health is low after encounters. Restore to the threshold. This one is actually surprisingly good early on. So if our health is under, I don't know what our health is at, 70 right now. So if it's at like 30%, then it'll automatically get restored after that. Or we could also do this, but yeah, let's go with the after party. That's pretty good for some safety, as long as we do not die. If we die,
can't heal myself, but I can fight.
We start over at the beginning. So the idea is to get as far as you can and hopefully not die. So our health is at 37, so I don't know if it kicked in yet, but witches. So it's as simple as that, I see. All right. Yeah, this is not too bad actually. So I do really enjoy the sword. We get, I think, 6 other types of weapons to deal with and learn about and upgrade and do all that stuff. So keep in mind that there is a ton of variety, although the game does kind of, it gives you suggestions. You'll see what I mean by that in a minute once we die, because I know it's going to happen out of nowhere. I'm just going to be an idiot and I'm going to run into a trap. But you can activate some of them, some of the floor traps. And, ooh, geez, that's bad. Ugh. And then just get out as fast as you can so that I can activate on these guys. And sometimes they can activate them, other times not so much. All right. There we go. All right. So coins like this for beating rooms will give us 100, which is pretty good. But the game is really good at putting things just out of your price range. Later on, you'll be able to start over with a certain amount of money from the start, and that's generally a good idea. A chthonic key, those are actually really important too early on. Later, you kind of just sort of forget about them because they're not as good. But let's go and grab one. Let's see what it gives us, because this would be a good idea. Here, what do you got? Ugh. Okay, so 37 is our 40%. Interesting. Oof, that hurt. All right, lady, listen up. Don't appreciate that. Thanks for the cash money. Oop, there we go. In the back. So you see how she's not even reacting to me. There we go. Okay. Yeah, there's just gonna be a bunch of these ladies. All right. Whoop. I would use my special a little bit more when dealing with multiple people, but there we go. That critical. That's so good. All right, let's grab it. That is number 1. Okay, so this is a pomegranate of power. This will upgrade one of our boons to the next level, and we can choose which one it is generally. And these will increase the stats of the things that are already being increased. So for example, if I used it on, say, my divine dash, it'll increase my dash damage, but that is all it'll do. Meanwhile, the centaur's heart will increase our health by 25. I already said it, but it bears repeating because these are going to be very good for us early on. As far as survivability is concerned, I'll take it. Whoop. There we go. Here, let's use some of that. So yeah, casts early on, not super great. Oof. But later on, they can definitely be used to your advantage. Right now, that doesn't seem like they're doing anything good for us, so. Ugh. All right, big guy. What's up? What is going on? Oh, you're back, I see. Ooh, geez, that flung her way the hell over there. Oh shit, man. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Ugh. All right, that's fine. We'll be getting our health back up in a minute, though, so we'll just go ahead and get greedy with it. Ugh. Yeah.
A centaur heart. That ought to keep me going for a bit.
Hell yeah. Okay, so sometimes you do want to kind of look over these rooms because they will sometimes have some secrets. Right now, it doesn't appear as though we'll be finding any troves or anything good for that matter, but that's okay. So another chthonic key, a little disappointing, but I'll take it. Early on, why not? Now we have these panels that have lions on them, and should we step on them, some of them will activate stuff like that, which is not fun, but if you can manage to go ahead and do it in such a way, there we go, to where, you can hit your enemies, you might be in luck. Just avoid them, and you'll be fine. Okay, so More skellies. That's nice. Don't like you guys. Don't like you at all. Oof. Thanks for that. Here, let's maybe... Oof. I don't know what happened there, but... Damn it. Okay, that is not working for me. Get out of here. I hate how weak I am right now.
Another key.
All right. I do like me some keys. Just not right now. Is this the last one? This might be the last room before the boss. So, yeah. So, before the boss of each area, you're always going to find a free room. And you can choose between either visiting Sharon or, amongst other things, getting a free upgrade, depending on what the other room is. So,
Beyond the present chamber lies the outermost perimeter of Tartarus, promising terrifying dangers far beyond the Underworld Prince's reckoning.
yeah.
And I can reckon quite a bit.
So, anytime you interact with a character out in the overworld and they have a yellow exclamation mark, they will have something new to say. So,
Why, good to see you, Charon, mate. Just minding my own business, taking in the sights, and hey, what's that you got? Some sort of wares for sale? Then I'll just have a look around.
yeah, I prefer my pronunciation. So, we could buy 2 of these. And I would think, because we're probably about to die over here, it doesn't matter if I heal myself, because that'll only give me 38 health. I don't think I'll be able to survive against this, but I'll probably just end up taking the death anyways.
Hey, what's with that Charon, man? He's sort of, I don't know, though I am glad he's been of service.
Absolutely. Okay, so while at 40% health or lower, we get only 10% damage resistance. So generally you do want to go for the more rare items. So you'll have rare, epic, legendary, and so on. But Trippy Shot is among one of my favorites, especially with the bow and arrow. So we'll take that right now. And, you know what? Screw it. Let's try it. Let's go for broke. I'm getting the hell out of here because it's our first boss.
Well, this is awkward.
Halt, Zagreus. Not one step further.
Come on, Meg. Haven't we had more than enough of each other by now? Besides, don't you have someplace else to be?
Your father sent me. All in all, I'd rather be on your bad side than his. Now you can turn back like a good little man, or I can send you home the painful way. What'll it be?
I'll have to go with the painful way.
A man after my own heart.
Hell yeah. Okay, so Festive Fog causes hangover, and it's generally pretty good for just quick damage early on, but Megara, the First Fury, is going to be a little bit on the rough side, especially as we get more of her health down. So there we go. I'm going to try to take this somewhat safe. Whoops. I'm not used to the lob. I will say I usually have a cask that does some other stuff, but... Okay, so there we go. Oof. Dodged right in the nick of time. Okay, so she's going to constantly be spawning these guys, which is not fun. Oof. All right. Oop. Okay, stay away from that. Shit, man. All right, come in here. Oof. Or maybe not. Damn, I'll only be able to take like 3 or 4 shots. Okay. It's probably okay that we die here, to be completely honest. But that's all right. Oof. Oh, Jesus. God, that range is so long. Okay, now she's got this nonsense. Oof. All right, Meg. Listen, you and me, we have history. Okay, that's fine. We'll die here. It's definitely gonna be harder to do right now, but damn, here I was thinking I'd be able to do it. Ugh. All right. Whoop. Okay. Yeah. All right, take me, Meg.
Do not come back.
Death number 1.
Damn it.